Hi, I'm Suzy Rhodes with Past Masters. Welcome to this week's questions of the week. This week, our topic is client customer profile. You can expect this topic to appear on your Series 6 exam, Series 7, Series 65, and Series 66. We will be taking a 15-question topic quiz from within one of our Past Masters Securities courses. Let's check out our learning management system. Your client is interested in purchasing U.S. government securities. Which of the following is their investment objective? I always suggest for questions like this that you make a little mini risk spectrum where you have debt on one side, balanced in the middle, and then equities on the other. So where are we here? We're on the side of the debt, the fixed income securities, U.S. government securities. So when someone is purchasing debt, they're doing it for preservation of capital and income. So let's see what our choices are here. Tax-free income, no, that would be municipal debt specifically. Safety, yes, so it's on the safer side of the risk spectrum. And some income, I like that. So let's check the other two. Growth, no, growth is on that equity side. High return, also on the risky side of the risk spectrum. So safety and some income. Now in the real world, I would never say that any security is safe to your client, but for the test, they will use that term, safety and some income. So what you'll do is you'll pick what you believe is the correct answer, click check answer. You know you got it right if you get that green check mark. If you would like to reinforce your knowledge, you want to click show explanation, read the explanation. You can also listen to an audio explanation. Your client is interested in purchasing U.S. government. It's me. So a lot of people learn by listening. So we have this available for all of our practice exam questions. A client's net worth is found on their, what's net worth? Net worth is assets minus liabilities. Where do you find assets and liabilities? On your client's balance sheet? Yes, but let's look at the others. Income statement, no. Statement of cash flow, no. Bank statement, no. So income statement would have their income and expenses. The balance sheet has their assets, what they own, and their liabilities, which is what they owe. Assets minus liabilities equals your client's net worth. Which of the following debt instruments would be the least appropriate for an investor looking to create current income? We have debenture, subordinated debenture. So debentures are unsecured corporate debt. We have an income bond and a secured bond. A secured bond is a bond that's backed by collateral. There's various types of secured bonds. The most common is a mortgage bond. There's also equipment trust certificates, which are backed by rolling stock like airplanes, fleet vehicles, railroad cars. And there's a collateral trust certificate, which is backed by securities owned by the company. So which one is the least appropriate, the worst for someone looking for income? The income bond. It's really a weird thing, but an income bond is a bond that is issued when an issuer is having financial difficulty. So they're only going to pay that interest income if they can afford to pay it. So an income bond is the worst type of bond for someone looking for income. It's funny, makes me laugh every time. Which is the most suitable investment for a client with an investment objective of preservation of capital? So on your mini risk spectrum, because you're always going to make a mini risk spectrum, do you think that your answer is going to be on the equity side or on the fixed income side? Yes, on the debt side, on the fixed income side, on the safer side of this risk spectrum. So on your scratch paper, you're going to take your 4 choices and you're going to look for, as far as this question goes, the safest of the choices, preservation of capital. We have U.S. government bond fund, municipal bond fund, bank CD, and corporate bond fund. So of those 4 choices, 3 of them trade in the secondary market. Only one of them is going to be something that if you invest $10,000 in today, you will have $10,000 plus some income. Probably not a lot of income in a bank CD. It does depend upon current interest rates. So a bank CD would be the most suitable recommendation for a client that is looking for preservation of capital. Preservation of capital. It would have a little tiny bit of income. To be able to file a claim against your ex-spouse's Social Security record, all of the following are true except we're looking for what is the false statement. Which statement is false? The benefits paid to a current spouse do not reduce benefits available to an ex-spouse. That is a true statement. You must be unmarried at the time you become eligible to claim on your ex-spouse's Social Security. That's also a true statement. Your ex-spouse must be unmarried at the time the claim is made. False. So that is not true. That's a false statement. You must have been married at least 10 years to be able to claim on your ex-spouse's Social Security record. That is true. So 3 true, 1 false. It is the false answer that is the correct answer. It doesn't matter if your ex-spouse is married or not when you claim against their record. Your client has a significant amount of credit card debt and is interested in investing with you. Which of the following would be the most suitable advice? Pay off the debt before investing, invest as much discretionary income as you can, invest minimally while paying off the debt, or when the debt has been paid down 10%, then start investing. So of these 4 choices, because most credit card interest rates are so high, the best advice to this client would be to pay off her debts before beginning to invest. Young investors with an aggressive attitude towards risk should invest in. So once again, the risk spectrum comes up here, where when we're on the equity side of life, we're younger. And as we get older, middle age is balanced. What's middle age? Don't tell me. I am not middle-aged. We get more conservative. The older we get, our investments for the test always must get more conservative. So the younger we are, the more aggressive our risk tolerance is, the more we can handle equities. Which of the following properly ranks the mutual funds from most conservative to most aggressive? So conservative first. So let's just look at the first choice here. So we have income fund, global fund, bond fund, money market fund. Which of those is the most conservative? Oh, the money market fund for sure. So let's just look at that one. Money market fund would be on the conservative side, right? On the fixed income side, it would be almost at my fingertips there. Bond fund, blend core fund, and then value fund. So I think I like that one, but I'm going to check the others. Income fund, value fund, growth fund, sector fund. Now those are all on the equity side. We have global fund, index fund, aggressive growth fund. No, definitely not that. Bond fund, growth and income. Special situation index fund. No, because the index fund is definitely more conservative. So we have the two, either income fund, value fund, growth fund, sector fund, or money market fund, bond fund, blend core fund, value fund. So which of those ranks them from most conservative to most aggressive? The correct answer is income fund, value fund, growth fund, sector fund. So that the value fund is more conservative than the growth fund. It would be also more conservative than this blend core fund. Your client has invested $250,000 worth of IBM stock. You should caution her about. Choices include lack of diversification, beta, volatility, or yield. To have that much money all in one company's stock, you should definitely caution her about lack of diversification. Your client would like his money in cash equivalents. Which of the following investments would not be suitable? So cash and cash equivalents are the money market funds. They're as close to cash as you can get. Choices include bank CD, treasury bills, money market funds. Now those are all on the safe side of the risk spectrum. So a cash equivalent, all three of those are cash equivalents. A global fund, no, a global fund's on the equity side of the risk spectrum. That would not be suitable. When making investment recommendations to a 70-year-old client, which would be most important? Her age, her values, her finances, or her attitudes? So with the risk spectrum, fixed income, equities, we have younger, older. So 70 is definitely going to be to the fixed income side of life. So of all of these things, and all of them play into making an investment recommendation, the number one factor you're going to consider here, though, would be her age. So for the test, conservative investments are going to be the right thing to recommend to this client. A client is looking for an investment that will create current income. Which is the least appropriate recommendation? Choices include growth stocks, government bonds, corporate bonds, or preferred stock. So if you are looking for current income, you want to have a debt instrument because bonds must pay interest twice a year, semi-annually. So it's not those would be appropriate. Preferred stock, let's say versus common stock. Preferred stock has a fixed dividend rate. So a percentage of par value is the annual dividend. Dividends are never guaranteed, not even for preferred stock, but if one is paid, you know how much it will be. So if a client is looking for income, preferred stock is better than common stock. So the answer here, the least appropriate recommendation is growth stock. Growth stock companies pay low to no dividends. So they are the least appropriate for an investor looking for current income. What would they be appropriate for? An investor looking for capital appreciation or for growth. Your client is a single dad with twin 10-year-olds. He makes $70,000 a year. His only asset is his checking account. Before encouraging him to invest, you should. Choices include make sure he owns a house, recommend he establish a 529 plan for each child, make sure he has life insurance, or make sure he is debt-free. So owning a house would be great. Having a 529 plan for each kid would be great. Having no debt, admirable, but the most important, when you have a client on the test that has kids, you always want to make sure that their life insurance needs are being met. So make sure he has life insurance. Behavioral finance is the study of. Choices include the influence of psychology on the behavior of investors. Yes, that's behavioral finance. It's the study of why do investors do oftentimes irrational things. Let's look at the other choices. The past return in the stock market? No. How investment managers invest? No. The phases of the market cycle? No. Behavioral finance, the study of the influence of psychology on the behavior of investors. When the time horizon is long, a client can afford to take on. Now think about back to that risk spectrum again. When we're younger, the time horizon is the length of time that money will remain invested. So that the younger we are, the longer the time horizon. If we're planning for someone's retirement, their time horizon is their expected lifespan. So when the time horizon is long, the client can afford to take on. Let's look at our choices. The same amount of risk as they would if they had a short time horizon. No. The shorter the time horizon, the more conservative the debt side, the more close to cash and cash equivalents the investment recommendation must be. So the shorter the time horizon, the more conservative. Double the average risk, more risk or less risk. When the time horizon is long, a client can afford to take on more risk. That is true. That concludes this week's questions of the week, client customer profile. Be sure that you practice making those risk spectrums. They are very helpful for these questions on your exam. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you're not already, turn your notifications on. If you'd like to check out our Past Masters Securities courses or to enroll in any of our programs, there is a link found in this video's description. Keep up the good work. I hope to have you as a student soon. Happy studies. You got this.